Best of r/Tales from Tech Support episode 32. This is a composite post of the chaos that has happened at $worksite the past week or so. Christmas time. The crispness of the air, the users beating at your door, wailing for things they could correct themselves. This occurs over the past week. Let the fun begin. Set the scene as $Pukerfest, arbitrarily summoned in a gymnasium to corral hundreds of young mischief makers to be shipped, by bus, clean, and trained to their home of record. Why one has the lone IT staff stopping the hair being pulled and ripped out, bloodshed, screams, tears, and black and blue kneecap kicked in and still recovering, mine, is up to the guess of anyone. Behold, the safety and security manager comes at me screaming about his iPad not functioning properly. $me, IT has absolutely no record of this item. I don't see it in our inventory. I don't even know who the plan is for $security manager, screaming I need this to do my job. $me, I understand, but I am busy trying to get all of these young professionals back to their home. This is what we call shadow IT. Can you forward us details? Date of purchase, anything? Nondescript object flies at my head at this point. Looks to be a shoe $security manager. I don't know about any of that. Aren't you supposed to keep track of it? $me, how do I keep track of something that happens around me? One of the IT staff reports to site director's office now. The booming voice over all of the VoIP phone beckons. I let out an audible sigh. $me, mind taking my place? Security manager? Security manager, laughs no, you're the one assigned to this, and then leaves. I trudge my way up to site director's office after the heave and haul, to discover several electrical engineers, project managers, and utility electrical personnel. Strangely none of the, master electricians employed by site were present. A massive, multi-100 ampere grid upgrade was being planned for site for the next day. Let's listen in. Electrical engineer 1, what is your plan to protect valuable systems from surges? Site director, I deflect that answer to $Pukerfest. Me, discuss how internet will go down, routers and switches and all that. Me, furthermore, not a qualified electrician, not an IT scope, contact one of the electricians on staff. Electrical engineer 2, what is the plan for process not related to IT? Site director, I also deflect that answer to $Pukerfest. Me, not a qualified electrician, not an IT scope, contact one of the electricians on staff. This becomes my standard, Gloma response, over a dozen times in an hour. Site director at the end of the meeting, thanks for coming to this, Pukerfest. I know you had a lot on your plate today. Me, walking out, monotone not a qualified electrician, not an IT scope, contact one of the electricians on staff. Some suggestions are made about having staff shut down computers on their own and unplugging them. Smart bet. $1 test administrator, a poor, clueless soul I've dealt with countless times, with an 18 computer testing lab, softly knocks at my door. Test administrator, so I'm supposed to shut down and unplug my whole computer lab. Me, yes, per site director, test administrator, how do I do that? Me, me, I assume you have appliances at home, a microwave. Test administrator, have you ever plugged it in or unplugged it? Test administrator, stares off into the void. I'm not good with this computer stuff. Me, a lamp. I'm sure you have a lamp at home to light your rooms. Have you ever plugged one in? Test administrator, scratches his head. I'm afraid you'll have to show me. I haven't a clue. Me, don't worry about it. It will all be fine. Enjoy your evening. Test administrator. The day comes. They do a controlled shutdown of the power. Site director knocks at my door. Site director, staff should still be able to complete their work at their workstations, right? Me, there's no power. How are they powering on their workstations? Site director, oh, good point. 30 minutes later, site director knocks at my door. $site director, why is there no internet? $me, is power restored yet? $site director, what does that have to do with the internet? Have to explain that I explained this in the meeting. The whole routers and switches scenario? Yeah, that. A night shift user just banged at my door very loudly, and once I opened it, the interaction was thus. $user, hello. Does IT do any work around here? $me, motions to the barrage of replaced computers. We're not really supposed to accept verbal requests. What is the issue? $user, my password to $signs is app doesn't work. $me, please have your supervisor email us at. $user, screaming you told Emmy that 2 days ago. My manager said she did that. This is inappropriate. Don't you guys do anything? $me, you know the power is out? $me, what is your last name? $user, last name $me, I received no password reset emails in the past 2 days, but I will check again when the power returns. Thank you for your patience. $user storms off yelling. When power is restored, I check my email, and yep, no email was sent about this user. Send an email up the chain, ask why, pray tell. If this user was having such difficulty, the first interaction was a rude bang at the door. $test administrator then knocks at my door. $test administrator, how do I know if I've sent an email? $me, did you go into the sent folder? $test administrator, whoa Batman, not all of us are on your level. 10 PM, Christmas Eve, just getting home from all of this. To all a good night, thank you. Next. I work for a small local ISP. There are 10 of us total on the phone, if you include myself and the other 2 senior support people, who generally only take escalation calls. To give everyone the holiday off, or to inconvenience everyone equally, depends on your point of view. We are all taking turns working 2-hour shifts on the phones for any my internet is down. Emergencies, yesterday afternoon and today, the 24th and 25th. That is all we are here for. That is all we are ever here for. We don't help you set up your new router, get the wireless working or set up email on your new device. Is your internet working in general? Yes. Our job is done. I just finished my shift. Out of the 17 calls I received, 3 were genuine, for a given value of genuine, internet issues. 2 were user error when setting up a new router. They just picked the wrong port originally, swapped the cable when trying to correct it and got all confused. Easy enough to sort it. 1 actually was our AP flaking out and her equipment not reassociating to the right circuit properly. Temporary fix until a tech visit can happen Friday. The other 14 were variations on either. I can't get my new iPad to talk to your router. Nope. Sorry sir, it is in fact your router and not my problem. I can't remember the password you gave me. Again, sorry, we did not give you that password nor do we have a record of it. And lastly, my very favorite, the internet is buffering terribly. Fix it well, sir. You are paying for our cheapest and slowest speed service, 5 Mbps down, and I can see 9 devices currently connected, all no doubt trying to stream something. 5 is fine if it's just you streaming, but you and 8 other people will have issues. Unless you want to upgrade your plan, I am sorry but there is nothing I can do. And sorry but no, you can't upgrade speed for 1 day. You will have to remain on that plan for 90 days. And nearly every last one of them made some comment about how they cannot believe you people have to work today, as if they themselves were somehow not the cause. But my shift is done. I was working from my parents' house. My kids are busy downloading their new Steam games. My mom has prime rib in the oven and I shortly will be making Yorkshire pudding. So all is right with the world. Merry Christmas everyone. Thank you. Next. Got a call from an older user today who just had a complete lack of knowledge with how things worked. Short one as I am just transcribing the call. $me. Hello, this is $me with IT. $user. Hello. My Wi-Fi is low and I was wondering how to fill it up. About 45 seconds of silence. $me. I am sorry, what do you need assistance with again? $user. My PC says my Wi-Fi is low. Can you refill it? $me. Can you, can you just read the error message off for me? $user. 1 second, let me see if I can. Oh. It says Citrix has detected low connectivity which can affect your performance. $me. Ah. That means your connection to the internet is either interrupted or of low quality. $user. Yeah, and I'm on that Wi-Fi stuff. If it's slow I should just refill it. $me. Sir. That's not how it works. $user. So what do I do? $me. Log out of Citrix and then restart your PC. Go to your modem/router and unplug them. Wait 10 seconds and plug them back in. Then once your network reinitializes, log back into Citrix. $user. And that will work? $me. If that does not work, you will need to call your ISP, Internet Service Provider, $user, and ask them to refill the Wi-Fi? $me. Yes. Ask them and they can let you know what needs to be done. $user. Alright. Thanks for the info. I hung up wondering just how that poor level 1 tech will respond to the question how to refill the Wi-Fi. Thank you. Next. I have a user who requested a new printer and was nonplussed to receive a used printer. For weeks after providing that printer I received non-stop service calls, whether it's that the printer was jamming, leaking toner or just not printing. After chasing down ghost problems she was able to convince her boss to relent and order her a brand new printer. So I replaced the printer and got it all set up for her. Once it was set up I printed a test page and a few documents to confirm it was working and was on my way. The very next morning I arrived to find a slew of emails from her complaining about various issues with the new printer jamming, leaking toner, not printing, etc. This all sounded very familiar, so I stopped by to take a look. Upon walking into her office I noticed a very possible culprit. She had removed the toner cartridge from the printer and tried to force it back and upside down. I asked her why she'd taken the toner out and she said she'd done so to clear the jam. In forcing the toner into the new printer upside down she'd also somehow managed to spill some toner on her desk and on the outside of the brand new printer. I got everything situated, wiped down and got it printing a test page, thinking all was well. She was very insistent on proving me wrong, though, and proceeded to print a document, grabbed the paper before it finished printing and yanked on it, then immediately shut the printer off. Dumbfounded as to what question I should even let off with, I settled on asking her why she shut the printer off. She told me that if she doesn't shut the printer off it sets off a paper jam notification, then immediately tried printing another document, exclaiming see, now it's giving me an error and won't print. I explained to her that the computer won't be able to print to the printer while it's turned off, and also attempted to explain that she needs to allow the printer to finish printing a document before she tries to remove it from the printer, otherwise it will jam. I've considered just taping a note to her printer that says don't do that to cover all bases, but I'm sure she'd figure out a way to mess that up. Thank you. Next. This one is short. Most of my tales come from phone or in-person interactions. But I saw something in the tech support forums that made me fall out of my chair. The OP asked, is there a good program that will find all occurrences of an item in the Windows registry, and replace it with something else? We all uniformly replied that this is generally a bad idea. The OP replied, my old company name is XXX Micro, and I want to replace all references to Micro with the new company name XXXX. Right single quotation mark. I replied, you do realize that this could potentially replace all references in the registry containing Microsoft with Xsoft, depending on how the search and replace function operated? In this case, this is a particularly bad idea. The OP never replied. I hope he understood my message before he crashed his computer. Thank you. Next. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a person was stirring, nor was there mouse. The pager was charging in the station with care, in hopes that no sound would ring through the air. The IT gal was sprawled all over her bed, while visions of Star Wars danced in her head. The notebook in the briefcase, slept with a tap, was all settled down for a long holiday nap. When out of the silence there arose such a clatter, she lurched out of bed, wondering what was the matter. Is it demons? Vampires? Zombies to hack? It is work that needs you. The phone echoed back. Opening the computer, she caused it to wake. She wondered aloud if this page would be fake. The light of the monitor made her let out a hiss, and she pondered aloud what could be amiss. And what did her wandering eyes chance to see, but no ticket. Alas, how could this be? Checking the monitors to see any alert, she could find nothing. They all were inert. On to search email. She went with a groan. Spotting the culprit, she let out a moan. She read through the email, searching for cause. When she was finished, she stopped with a pause. A frustrated user, my what a jerk, had randomly selected her to be clerk. For no ticket was used, nor the help desk, rather her team was selected. My what a pest. A problem was had, halfway across the globe. For that team's info, the IT gal did probe. She drafted an email, with the correct group, removing her pager, to get out of the loop. Wanting to tell the user where to stick it, she sent her reply, put in a ticket. She left the computer, curses said in her head, then walked in her room, heading straight for the bed. But I heard her exclaim, ere she moved out of sight, silent pagers to all, and to all a good night. Happy holidays everyone. May your systems be stable, your users competent, and your work phone silent. This post brought to you by the user that woke me up at 2 AM this morning to be a clerk. Thank you. Next. I don't work in IT support, but people from my old office tended to bother me when they had issues with their magic spreadsheet machines, rather than calling the wizards from the IT who were actually paid to deal with their problems. This one happened when my BTCH of a boss, let's just call her Karen for short, presented me with a PDF file she had scanned a couple days prior. The problem was that Karen had scanned the second page upside down, and not knowing how to deal with it, the original papers were all re-shredded. She put me in charge of fixing it. The company didn't have a full version of Acrobat, so the simple way was not an option. I realized that I could print both pages separately and scan them again correctly, but the quality loss would be too noticeable. It already looked like crap. Good job, Karen. But then I noticed that we had a virtual printer installed, which allowed me to print both pages as PNGs. So I printed them at 800 dpi, anything higher than that crashed the software, and turned the second PNG 180 degrees clockwise. Then I opened Ms. Word, imported both PNGs to individual pages and positioned them properly. Pretty much done. The last problem I faced was how to save the new file. Saving it as PDF generated me roughly a 100 megabyte file, while DOCX messed up the formatting of the pictures. So I settled with good old doc, which was fine for some reason. Later I presented my creation to Karen, took her okay, finally, as a sign of gratitude, and went after my own business.